Okay, so what we have just changed is, okay, notice the enemy in white. Okay, that is the ghost, and it has the ability to fade into the background. Okay, and when it does that, it is invincible. Hey, what's up, Warbird Games? So what we just changed was that when we pause the game, okay, the ghost should not be able to change back to being faded off or not faded off. Okay, it should stay in its current state and not do anything. So only when we resume the game, then it should be able to change from, okay, being faded off to not being faded off. So as you can see, the attacks just go right past it. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be changing back to the default white color. So that is a bug. Okay, so over here, let's see. Hey, what's up, Mega Tale? Is that how you pronounce your nickname? Okay. Okay, so instead of doing this here, okay, we should do it here so that the countdown does not happen if the game is paused. Okay, so while the game is paused, we will call it again. Okay, that should do it. Okay, let's test that out. Okay, so we need a stage with the ghost. Okay. Okay, so the ghost is now faded off into the background. Okay, and now it's not. Okay, now it is. And now we pause the game. Okay, so when the game is paused, okay, the ghost does not fade back into the game. Okay, let's unpause it. Okay, and now it fades. And now it fades back and into the background and not. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so the next thing that we need to test when we pause and unpause the game, okay, is the projectiles that you shoot out. Okay, so when we shoot an impulse projectile, okay, it bounces and explodes. So when we test it with the pause function, okay, so for one thing, it should not explode. Okay, so when the game is paused, it should not explode. So let's fix that. Okay, so to fix that, let's go to the attack script, which is attached. Okay, so this attack script is attached to all of the projectiles that you shoot. Okay, so let's check. Okay, impulse. Okay, if the game is not paused, not impulse, not impulse. Okay, so over here, we check that if it is impulse, it will explode. Okay, so we need to check if the game is paused or not. Game state dot pause, or rather if the game is not paused. Okay, so if the game is not paused, okay, let's copy and paste the whole thing over here. Okay, if the game is not paused, check if projectile is expiring. Okay, that is going to be destroyed or exploded. Okay, but if the game is paused, else. Okay, the thing about mono develop, or rather the thing about the default mono develop that came with Unity, okay, is that it is not totally updated to the latest version, and sometimes the auto indentation is kind of irritating. If the game is paused, okay, we call this again so that it will come back and check if the game is still paused or not. Call itself again. Okay, so let me just grab some water. Okay, we do not have to worry about this method getting caught indefinitely, as when we quit the game and go back to the character selection menu, or if we die and game over, okay, this script will be destroyed along with the projectiles that you shoot out. Okay, wait. Okay, before we test this script, okay, we need to make sure that we test it with impulse. Okay, so now when we run the game, okay, let's get a star. Okay, so that we can test the pause and resume with impulse. Hey, what's up, Roof Memory? Okay, so besides impulse, there are other abilities. So for example, when you start the game, your default starting ability will be wave, which is this. So when you shoot a wave projectile and pause, okay, notice that the projectile stops. Okay, that is because we have disabled its physics body when the game is paused, and we save the velocity. Okay, so when we unpause it, we just reassign the velocity and it will resume going along its previous path. Oh, okay. So currently it is already at 720. Okay, is the frame rate too choppy, or is it because of the camera that is laggy? to menu. Okay, let's try to get that star. Okay. Okay, so that was a bug. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that is a good question from Crazy Miner. Okay, so to allow people to download or play your game without Unity or C#, okay, you will have to build it, okay, for the various platforms, and that includes the web player, Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, BlackBerry, okay, and maybe the other platforms or consoles that you have the modules for. Okay, and so once you have built the game, okay, it will appear in something like this. Okay, this is for Mac. So when you build it for Mac, you will get an app file which you can send to anyone on a Mac, okay, to play. So notice that now I'm not running the game in Unity but on the Mac itself, the Mac operating system itself. Okay, so this is not in Unity but on Mac OS X itself. Okay, so for example, if you build it in, or rather if you build it for Windows, you will get an exe file which you can run in Windows. Whoa. Okay, so that is the game running on Mac. Okay. So if you are on Windows or Linux, okay, it will create an application file for you to run it on the respective platforms. Okay, when you build the game with Unity. Okay, just go to File and Build Settings, and you can change, or rather you can choose which platform you want to build the game for, and it will churn out the application file for you. Okay, so we have impulse, which explodes after a few bounce. Okay, so let's try to pause and unpause it. So when we use impulse, and when we pause it right after we use it, okay, notice now that the projectile does not explode. Okay, so now let's resume it, and it explodes. Okay, so it does not explode when you pause the game, but when you resume it, it explodes. Okay, we need to test the other abilities. Okay, so let's test Fireball. Hey, what's up, Lord Stan? Is that how you pronounce your name? Okay, so this is Fireball. So when we shoot it and pause, okay, so it stops in mid-air. Okay, which is what we want when we pause the game. So now let's unpause it. Okay. And unpause it, and okay. Okay, so Fireball is working when you pause and unpause the game. Okay, next let's try Heavy Wave. Okay, so this is just testing the various abilities that you get when you collect stars. Okay, so we are testing them when we pause and unpause the game. Okay, now we are just trying to get that star so that we can test Heavy Wave. Oh, okay, that was close. Okay, so in a stage like this, Okay, we are trying to get a star. So if there are not enough enemies, we have to restart the game. Okay, this is just for testing purposes. Okay, because usually when you play the game, you will not do that. Okay, so as you can see, okay, stars do not drop always, or rather they do not always drop. English, man, English. Okay, so this is heavy wave. Okay, it is a short distance powerful shot that does quite an amount of damage. Okay, so now when we use it and pause, okay, so it stops, and when we resume it, okay, so it stops around here. Pause, resume. Okay, so there seems to be a small bug for heavy wave. Okay, so usually when you use it, it goes for a short distance, so it ends around here. Hey, what's up, Sterling? Okay, but if you use it and pause and resume it, it goes much further than that, or rather it goes slightly further, which is not what we want. Wait a minute. Okay, so if we use it from